of a secret trial, which in Sweden, which is an anathema to the open justice principle which we in this country, and I think in most civilized countries of the world, hold very dear.
Assange has the support of celebrities and human rights activists. He denies the sex charges against him, but he must continue to wear an electronic tag which his defence team called degrading and demeaning. Tim Friend, Al Jazeera, Belmarsh Court, London.
Well, Ireland is holding elections on Friday that could unseat the ruling party. Angry over Ireland's collapsed economy, voters are expected to get rid of the Fianna Fáil party. Well, the party has dominated Irish politics for almost 80 years. With unemployment at 13%, polls say Fine Gael is seen as the best party to repair Ireland's economy. In the last few hours, the United Nations has announced it's extending its mandate for UN peacekeepers in East Timor for another year. Since gaining independence from Indonesia more than a year ago, the tiny nation of East Timor has struggled to look after its own security. Drew Ambrose has the details.
Abandoned homes in Osvaldo Guterres' neighbourhood are grim reminders of what happened in 2006. Political turmoil split East Timor's police and army into opposing factions, triggering violence that killed 37 people.
Our house was burnt down. I was emotional and traumatized and could only think about saving my life. We heard gunfights between the two forces from our compound.
After the violence, the United Nations took over the running and reform of East Timor's police force. Now, slowly, district by district, the UN is handing back power to local brigades.
UN one day will leave. It will provide our Timorese counterparts, Polícia Nacional Timor-Leste, with the proper tools to answer to any type of incident.
East Timor is keen to show off their forces, but there are concerns the UN has been ineffective in changing police culture.
I think it may have been that a smaller, more boutique police mission may have been more useful than a blanket executive policing mandate with 1,600 police, which is what we saw here in Timor.
There are plenty of triggers for further instability in East Timor. The population is rapidly growing. 40% of people here live below the poverty line, and social divisions which caused violence in the past still exist.
In a country where a rebel resistance fought a 24-year war for independence, these police brigades believe they can again beat the odds on their own. Drew Ambrose, Al Jazeera, Dili, East Timor.
Well, still to come, the top sports stories, including cricket fans take a beating at the World Cup and claims of mismanagement at the flagship tournament.
People talk about televising the revolution. It's tweeting the revolution, Facebooking the revolution, videotaping the revolution.
A new world driven by new media.
This is a very peculiar moment in media history.
Nobody can force me in 2011 to watch whatever I don't want to watch.
Analyzing the media's role in shaping modern history. The Listening Post, at this time on Al Jazeera.
Welcome back. Time to get the sports news. Here's Zoe.
Thanks very much. Liverpool are safely into the last 16 of the Europa League, but they left it late to seal a 1-0 win over Sparta Prague. Dirk Kuyt's header 4 minutes from time was enough to put them through. Rangers scraped through on the away goals rule. A 4-3 aggregate win for Sparta Moscow was enough to secure their progress. 3 second-half goals put Dutch side PSV Eindhoven into the last 16, and positive results for Manchester City and Villarreal see them through. Now to the Cricket World Cup, where the sport's governing body, the ICC, has criticised the tournament's organising committee for causing a public relations disaster that has undermined the event. Several cricket fans were injured after clashing with police outside a stadium in Bangalore. They've been waiting to buy tickets for India's high-profile match against England on Sunday, but when the public allocation of between 7,000 and 8,000 tickets had all gone by late morning, the crowds vented their frustration on the police, who hit back with bamboo sticks. Questions have been raised over the distribution of tickets and why so few were available to the public for a 50,000-seater stadium. On the pitch, South Africa have underlined their status as one of the favourites to win the tournament. A century from A.B. de Villiers helped them beat the West Indies by 7 wickets in their opening group game. Andy Richardson reports from New Delhi.
Echoes of another World Cup could be heard in New Delhi ahead of this match between South Africa and the West Indies. Local supporters had seen no international cricket in more than a year prior to this fixture. A dangerous playing surface had resulted in the venue being temporarily banned from hosting games. South Africa hoped opening with spin would exploit any devils in the pitch, and Johan Botha dismissed Chris Gayle in the very first over. Darren Bravo's innings of 73 got the West Indies right back into the game. While 4 wickets on debut from Pakistan-born Imran Tahir ensured the game never got away from South Africa. Dwayne Bravo also took his turn to hit out for the Windies until some hapless running saw him depart for 40. The West Indies subsiding to a below-par total of 222 all out. In reply, South Africa did lose quick wickets. There followed, though, a 100 partnership between Graham Smith and A.B. de Villiers. De Villiers duly scored a match-winning 100. He finished unbeaten on 107 as South Africa eased to victory by 7 wickets.
So, a winning start for South Africa and an Imran Tahir. They look to have found yet another match-winning bowling option. The problems continue for the West Indies, though. That is their 26th consecutive ODI loss against Test-playing nations. Their stated ambition of reaching the quarter-finals already looks ambitious. Andy Richardson, Al Jazeera, New Delhi.
Well, South Africa captain Graham Smith was pleased with his side's performance.
We try to mix it up as much as possible, you know, chopped and changed. The guys bowled really well, so we fielded well through that middle period. Also, once we picked up 1 wicket, we were able to create a lot of pressure on the